All right, ladies, let's talk about something that's often whispered about, sometimes misunderstood, and yet it's the very bedrock of a truly mind-blowing connection. We're diving deep today, past the surface level stuff, into what men really want, what they secretly crave in intimacy, and how why you can become absolutely irresistible. This isn't about manipulation, it's about understanding, about connecting on a level that most women don't even realize is possible. So lean in, because by the end of this, you're going to have a secret weapon, a roadmap to not just his heart, but his soul, and his pants too. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's clear the air. We're not talking about just the physical here. That's a piece of the puzzle, sure, but true intimacy, the kind that makes a man utterly obsessed with you, goes so much deeper. It's about creating a space where he feels seen, desired, and completely safe to be himself. And honestly, ladies, most men are walking around feeling a bit emotionally constipated. They're taught to be strong, to be providers, to hold it all together. But underneath that tough exterior, they're yearning for connection, for that soft landing, for someone who truly gets them. And that, my dears, is where you come in. You have the power to unlock a part of him that very few others ever will. So let's get into the first big secret. And this one is crucial, often overlooked, and yet it's a total game changer. It's about making him feel like the hero everywhere, always. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, Matthew, I don't need to stroke his ego. And you're right, you don't need to fake it. But there's a profound difference between fake flattery and genuine appreciation. Men are wired to protect, to provide, to solve. It's in their DNA. When you create opportunities for him to step into that role and then genuinely appreciate him for it, you're tapping into something primal. Think about it when he fixes that leaky faucet or helps you carry groceries or even just listens intently to your day. These are all moments where he's being your hero. And when you acknowledge that, when you say, thank you, I really needed that, or you're so good at this, you're not just complimenting him, you're validating his core masculine desire to be of service, to be important to you. And this translates directly into the bedroom too. When he feels like he's making you happy, when he sees your genuine pleasure, it fuels him. It makes him want to do it again and again. It makes him feel powerful and desired. So stop trying to do everything yourself all the time. Let him help, let him lead sometimes. And this is the key, show him your appreciation. It's not about being a damsel in distress. It's about allowing him to experience the joy of being your hero. This isn't about being submissive. It's about strategic empowerment. You empower him to feel like a king, and in return, he'll treat you like a queen. This builds an unbreakable bond of trust and mutual respect, paving the way for deeper, more meaningful, intimate encounters. Trust me, ladies, this is pure gold. And this isn't just about grand gestures. It's in the micro moments. The way you look at him when he tells a funny story, the way you touch his arm when he's talking, the genuine smile you give him when he walks in the door. These small affirmations accumulate, building a reservoir of confidence and desire in him. He starts to associate you with feeling good about himself, with feeling capable and strong. And who wouldn't want to be around someone who makes them feel that way? It's human nature. So lean into it. Look for those opportunities to make him feel important, valuable, and yes, your hero. You'll be amazed at the transformation. All right, let's dive even deeper, because that feeling of being the hero, that's just the appetizer. The next layer, the one that truly sets you apart and makes him absolutely lose his mind over you, is all about unleashing your inner playful goddess, the one who's not afraid to be a little naughty, a little cheeky, and a lot of fun. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, Matthew, I'm a serious woman. I have a career, responsibilities. And yes, you absolutely are, and that's fantastic. But here's the thing, men deep down are still those little boys who want to play. They want to laugh, they want to tease, they want to escape the seriousness of life, especially with the woman they're intimate with. Think about it this way, the world is full of stress, deadlines, and expectations. When he comes to you, does he find more of the same, or does he find a sanctuary of joy, lightness, and excitement? This isn't about being immature. It's about tapping into a vital part of your own feminine energy, the playful, sensual, slightly mischievous side that often gets stifled by adulthood. This is about bringing a spark, a zing, into your interactions that keeps him on his toes in the best possible way. So how do you do this? It starts with a mindset shift. Stop taking everything so seriously, especially when it comes to flirting and intimacy. Don't be afraid to tease him a little, to joke around, to use playful banter. If he says something a bit cheeky, don't just shut it down with a serious look. Play along, give him a knowing smile, bat your eyelashes, or retort with something even more mischievous. This shows him that you're not just a partner, but a co-conspirator in fun, that you're not easily shocked or offended, and that you're open to exploring lighter, more exciting dimensions of your connection. And this playfulness extends into the physical realm too, long before you even get to the serious stuff. Imagine you're walking past him in the kitchen, and instead of just passing, you brush your hand lightly across his lower back, just for a second. Or you whisper something silly and suggestive in his ear when you're watching TV, or you send him a text during the day that's just a little bit risque, a little bit teasing, something that makes him chuckle and wonder what you're thinking. These are small acts, but they build anticipation, create a current of electricity between you that keeps the intimacy alive and vibrant. It's like a secret language only you two share, a continuous flirtation that tells him, I see you, I desire you, and I want to play with you. And now, let's get a little more specific. In those intimate moments, don't be afraid to be vocal, to express your pleasure, to make sounds that show him how much you're enjoying yourself. Men are incredibly responsive to feedback, and hearing your genuine enjoyment is like rocket fuel for them. But beyond just vocalizing, embrace a sense of adventure. Suggest trying something new, something you've both talked about, or even just a slight variation to your usual routine. This isn't about being wild and crazy all the time. It's about demonstrating an openness, a willingness to explore and keep things fresh. It tells him, I'm not bored, and I'm excited to discover new ways to connect with you. Think about surprising him. Maybe you put on a specific outfit just for him, something you know he loves, even if it's just for a few minutes before it comes off. Or you initiate intimacy when he least expects it, catching him off guard in the best possible way. These surprises, these little unexpected acts of desire are incredibly powerful. They shatter routine, they reignite passion, and they make him feel truly desired, not just expected. You're showing him that you're actively engaged in the dance of intimacy, not just passively participating. And here's a big one. Don't be afraid to be a little bit dominant sometimes, not in an aggressive or controlling way, but in a way that shows your own desire and confidence. Maybe you gently take his hand and lead him to the bedroom, or you whisper in his ear exactly what you want, or you take the lead in those intimate moments, showing him your own pleasure and what truly excites you. This level of confidence, this owning of your own desire, is incredibly sexy to a man. It shows him that you're not just waiting for him to make you feel good, but that you're an active, passionate participant in your shared pleasure. It breaks down the expectation that he always has to be the one initiating, the one performing. It transforms intimacy into a co-created experience, making it richer and more fulfilling for both of you. This playful goddess energy is about shedding inhibitions, not in a reckless way, but in a way that embraces your authentic, sensual self. It's about being daring enough to show him the full spectrum of your personality, including the parts that are a little bit wild, a little bit free. When you bring this kind of energy, this willingness to play and explore, you become an intoxicating force in his life. He won't just want you, he'll crave you because you represent escape, excitement, and a level of connection that transcends the ordinary. You're not just a partner, you're his adventure, his confidante, and his greatest source of joy. So go on, ladies, unleash that playful goddess within. He's secretly waiting for her. All right, let's bring it home with the final and perhaps most profound set of insights that will solidify your place in his heart and mind, making you absolutely indispensable. We've talked about making him feel like the hero and unleashing your playful goddess, both incredibly powerful. But now we're going to delve into the deeper, often unspoken cravings that men have, and how fulfilling them will create a bond that transcends mere physical attraction, a bond of true soul-level intimacy. This final key is about becoming his safe harbor, his ultimate confidante, and the woman who truly sees him, flaws and all, and still desires him. Now, I know safe harbor might sound a bit passive, but trust me, this is anything but. This is about active empathy, profound understanding, and creating a space where he feels completely unburdened and accepted. Men, despite their outward strength, carry a tremendous amount of pressure. They're expected to be unflappable, to have all the answers, to be the rock. And while they often rise to that challenge, it's exhausting. What they secretly crave What they desperately need is a place where they can drop the armor, where they can be vulnerable without judgment, where they can admit their fears, their insecurities, their doubts, and still be loved and desired. Most women mistakenly believe that a man wants a woman who constantly validates his ego or just tells him what he wants to hear. While a little ego stroke never hurts, true intimacy comes from going deeper. It comes from being the one person with whom he feels safe enough to be imperfect. When he shares a worry about work, a fear about the future, or even just expresses a moment of self-doubt, your reaction in that moment is everything. Do you immediately try to fix it, minimize it, or offer unsolicited advice? Or do you simply listen? The power of active, empathetic listening cannot be overstated. When he opens up, your job isn't always to solve his problems, but to make him feel heard, understood, and validated. A simple, "that sounds incredibly tough," or "I can only imagine how stressful that must be," goes miles further than a list of solutions. It communicates, "I see your struggle, I acknowledge your pain, and I'm here with you." This creates an unparalleled level of trust. When a man feels truly heard and understood by you, he begins to associate you with emotional safety, with a release from the burdens of the world. And that, ladies, is a feeling he will become addicted to. This also ties into the idea of seeing him, truly seeing him. Not just the version of him he presents to the world, not just the perfect boyfriend or strong provider, but the intricate, sometimes messy, sometimes flawed, beautiful human being underneath. This means celebrating his successes, yes, but also being present during his failures, being the one who doesn't recoil when he makes a mistake, but instead offers comfort and unwavering belief in his capabilities. It's about looking into his eyes and conveying without words, "I know you, I accept you, and I adore you precisely as you are." This acceptance is a powerful aphrodisiac, especially in the context of intimacy. In the bedroom, men often feel immense pressure to perform, to satisfy you, to be the expert. This can lead to anxiety and can actually hinder true connection. When you create an environment of unconditional acceptance, where he knows that your desire for him isn't contingent on some perfect performance, it frees him. It allows him to relax, to be more present, and ironically, to be more confident and passionate. How do you manifest this safe harbor energy in intimacy? It's about being present, being gentle, and being communicative. It's about touch that conveys tenderness and care, not just urgency. It's about holding him close after the physical act, not just rolling over. It's about those quiet moments of connection, of shared breath, where the world outside fades away, and it's just the two of you, completely vulnerable and utterly connected. A soft kiss on his forehead when he's feeling down, a gentle stroke of his hair as he drifts to sleep, a tender touch on his cheek that says, "I cherish you." These gestures are often more intimately powerful than any grand performance. Furthermore, this acceptance extends to his quirks, his silly habits, even the things that might occasionally annoy you a little bit. When you can laugh with him about his endearing oddities, or playfully tease him about them rather than criticizing, you're telling him, "You are safe with me." All of you. This playful acceptance fosters an environment where he feels completely comfortable letting his guard down, knowing you won't judge or ridicule him. This builds a foundation of profound emotional security. And finally, let's talk about desire, not just physical desire, but the desire for him as a whole person. Men secretly want to be desired not just for their body or their performance, but for their mind, their spirit, their unique essence. When you show genuine interest in his passions, his hobbies, his intellectual pursuits, you're communicating that you're attracted to all of him. Ask him about his day, not just as a formality, but with genuine curiosity. Listen intently when he talks about something he's excited about, even if it's not your cup of tea. These acts of genuine interest are acts of profound intimacy, telling him, "I value your thoughts, your dreams, and your unique perspective." When you combine making him feel like the hero, unleashing your playful goddess, and becoming his safe harbor and ultimate confidant, you create an irresistible force. You become the woman he can't stop thinking about, the woman he rushes home to, the woman he trusts with his deepest self. You become his greatest source of comfort, his most exciting adventure, and his most profound connection. This isn't about techniques or tricks. It's about embodying a mindset of understanding, empathy, and genuine desire. It's about becoming the woman who truly understands the secret language of a man's heart. And when you do that, ladies, you unlock a level of intimacy that is truly extraordinary and everlasting. All right, ladies, if you've resonated with these insights, if you're ready to transform your understanding of men and unlock a level of intimacy you've always dreamed of, then you know this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more to uncover, so many deeper layers to explore in the art of connection, attraction, and building extraordinary relationships. So, if you're serious about mastering your love life and becoming truly irresistible, don't miss out on more game-changing advice. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join our community of women who are committed to creating incredible, passionate, and deeply fulfilling connections. Trust me, your future self will thank you.